Okay, Coach Geep Wade, offensive line coach, questions? Go ahead, Rod.
Coach, you lost probably two of your leaders on the line in Franklin and Williams. Have you seen anyone trying to step up and assume that position, or is it just going to be leading by example?
Those guys are great leaders, and sometimes you don't know what you had until, you have to start over, but it's every year. And, at center, we had some guys that have had a lot of reps here at Georgia Tech over the years with Harrison and Tana. So we actually feel, like we've got some leadership at the center position. We feel like we got probably a little bit more depth than we've had at the center position. We're working a bunch of centers, and then we've got one still that's not here. So at right tackle right now, it's a little bit by committee, trying to figure out who can take over Jay Will's role. And, proud of what he did last year. I thought he took his game to another level, and hopefully he gets to compete here coming up and for his dreams. But that's a position right now that I'm not saying we're worried about, but that's a position that we've got to hone in and figure out who's going to take that position.
Kind of focusing on that right tackle spot. Yeah. Jameson was a guy that had a great spring last year. Then you were able to redshirt him with the way things worked out. How has he looked? And you added Jacoby there from the JUCO ranks. Kind of how it seems like those two guys, maybe kind of the early guys there. Just what have you seen from them?
Well, right now Jacoby's playing left, and Riggs is at right, and does some good things. Consistency is going to be a key for him. Behind him is Jordan Floyd, and then we got Peyton Joseph behind him. So we're all three of those are freshmen, whether they're redshirt or just here. So they're all young, and we tell our guys every day, to be honest with you guys, like youth is not an excuse. We've got to have game reps out here at practice, walkthroughs. So every rep's invaluable to those guys because they are talented. They are talented, but we've got to mature at a fast rate because before you know it's going to be August. We've got to have a little bit more maturity out of that group, as of today.
How is Josh Petty doing?
Josh is he's a freshman. All these guys get here, and it's something that it's a learning curve for them, and then once it's when you go against your defense, it's okay. You mastered that, and then it's on to something else, and then once you master that, you got to go back to that. So his athleticism is elite. He's a smart kid. I'm very excited where he's at right now. It's just, once again, it's with all these guys. It's just the mental part of getting down, and right now we're not game planning anything, so everything's in. So it's a little bit different for these guys, but they're just young. You know what I mean? It's a good problem, but it also can not frustrate me, but some sleepless nights. You know what I'm saying?
Jackson.
You mentioned you thought Jordan took his game to another level last year, and you got a couple of guys returning this year, in Joe and Keelan. What do you think they need to do to take their game to the next level?
I think they already have, just by the maturity and the work ethic and the jacket drills that we did. The jacket drills, this was probably the best jacket drills we've had from an off season of just straining their body. With Joe, it's just getting in shape, and with Keelan, honestly, he played the entire last year hurt. You know what I mean? And that's not an excuse and nothing like that. So I think with just his being healthy, he's going to be better. And then he's a year older. Now he's a leader. Those guys are leaders. With Harrison and Tana, I feel really good where we're at inside. And we've got more depth than we've ever had here. And they're tough kids, and that's what we want around here.
You touched on maturity with the younger guys. So with some of these guys returning, how much does that help with helping these younger guys get more mature and get into the game plan?
Those guys are coaches on the field. Like, we just got off the field, but, Brad's coming up to me and Coach Polly and like, hey, when Riggs got this and this and that. I mean, so they're helping us coach too. And huge, we've got guys that when they come off from a series, they're over there talking. The older kids are. The younger kids aren't doing that yet. They don't know. So they've got to get taught, and the older kids. But we've got really, really good leaders. We've got tough leaders in that room, and we just got to mature at a at a rate every day. Like Coach says, we got to get better every day. Every rep matters, and that's something that we've got to live by here from now until we get back here in August.
Most of your guys are like you said, young freshmen, sophomores, but you got those two guys sitting there at the guard positions. What does it look like, guys that are playing behind them, guys that are going to have to be ready for, the future of the guard position?
I feel really good there. Behind Keelan is Ben Galloway, who's been in our program for 2 years and gone through the same thing that's gone through. I just talked about those other kids. And, he's a kid that every year, like I was watching last 2 days, he played left guard, he played right guard, he went to right tackle. We never found him at home, and now he's at right guard behind Keelan, and he's doing a really nice job. So kind of really excited about the depth that he's going to be able to bring us, and he's done a good job. But I think part of it is he's found him a home a little bit, and then the left guard position could be backed up by with Tana and Harrison. Harrison played guard. Harrison played half the snaps at guard from the Miami game on, and so we got some flexibility there, along with Kevin P., who's really doing a nice job as a incoming freshman as well.
With Tana and Harrison, what exactly are you looking for to have one of them kind of step up and be the guy? And I know it's so important, that position, and with the way the offense works now, just how do you kind of evaluate that day to day?
Well, one, I believe in both those kids. But right now, it's really not about that. Like whether you're getting reps with the ones or the twos, to me, that does not matter right now. We're not game planning, so we're not trying to put right now necessarily the best five. Here we go. We're not in game plan mode right now. So right now, we're just trying to get better, build some depth at center, which we have. But we know with Harrison the capability of moving out, and he does it on a limited snap count every practice. During our walkthroughs, he gets a lot of guards. So Tana is with the ones a lot as well.
Okay, time for a couple more.
I think you just mentioned the depth being the best it's ever been since you've been here. Can you expound on that a little bit, just how much better the OL line room is since you're here?
Yeah. Right now, we just came off a practice where I don't think we practice as well, so I'm not in the best moods. But, on a serious note, when you walk in that room in spring and you got 16 or 17 bodies, and you can, I've got buddies that have 8 or 9. So what we've done here with Brent and Buster and the capability of that position's important to listen, you got 15 guys on scholarship, only 5 play. But the way that you can practice with the bodies and develop, like we just talked about, and develop the D linemen, because you'll be able to go more. We're going 3 groups in spring. I don't know. I don't know who's, so the development is the key, and this is going to pay off. These hard days are going to pay off, and especially once you start game planning for a Josh Petty, okay, here's what these guys do. You get to work it all week, you get to master this. But, that's why, to be honest with you guys, that's why like Coach Polly's here and Coach Mo was last year. It's development year round. Like I'm on the road a month at a time, and there's no time off. You've got to develop these kids, and you have to have help to do that.
Georgia, if you want to wrap us up.
Thinking ahead a little bit with the spring game coming up, how will you go about measuring success with your guys?
Really, we probably, honestly, spring games good. It's for the kids, to enjoy it, and for the fans, and they really deserve that. These kids bust their butt around here, and that's the fun part. For us, it'll be another practice, and it'll be something that we get to evaluate. And for us, I know it sounds corny, but just more reps. More live reps, more, now you got Josh Petty and P and Canales and Groovy. Now they're playing in Bobby Dodd in front of a crowd. So that matters. But for a coach, it's just another practice. And, that'll be a day where you really don't want to end because you don't want practice to end.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it, guys.
See you in the fall.
Yeah.